There is something profound about pausing before speaking, about letting silence hold us for just a moment before words form. In life, so many things rush past us, and without even realizing it, we become swept along by demands, responsibilities, and distractions. But now, in this moment, you are choosing to stop. You are choosing to stand still, even if just for a few breaths, to acknowledge that this time is different. This time is not for hurrying or proving anything. It is a time for gathering yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your hopes, and placing them in the gentle space where you can reflect. Often, we overlook the importance of preparation. We jump straight into asking for what we need or expressing what we feel, but there is a quiet beauty in arriving with intention. As you sit here, perhaps you notice the tension in your shoulders or the weight of the day's concerns pressing in. Allow yourself to recognize it without judgment. You are human, and this is part of the journey. Now, begin to imagine that each breath you take is slowly clearing the dust from your mind. Picture the worries beginning to loosen their grip, as though they are leaves drifting down a stream, carried away to a place where they no longer burden you. This is not about pretending that challenges do not exist. It is about making space for something greater than those challenges to enter your awareness. As you prepare to pray, remember that preparation is not only about the words you will say, but about the state of being you bring. The calmer, clearer, and more intentional you are in this moment, the more you will feel the depth of the conversation you are about to have. Let this be the moment where you shift from the noise of life to the stillness of presence, ready to step into something meaningful. Sometimes we treat prayer as if it is simply another item on our list, something we do quickly before moving on to the next demand. But true connection, true speaking and listening cannot be rushed. Just as you would prepare for an important meeting, a significant conversation, or a cherished visit from a friend, so should you prepare for this time. Think of how you would greet someone you deeply respect and value. You would pause, gather yourself, and approach them with care. That same intentional approach can transform how you step into prayer. Begin by looking inward with honesty. Ask yourself what you truly wish to express, not what you think you should say, but what is real for you right now. Are you seeking strength, clarity, comfort, gratitude? Sometimes it's all of those at once tangled together. That's okay. The beauty of this moment is that you don't have to sort it all perfectly. You simply have to bring it as it is. As you prepare, let go of the idea that you must have every. As we stand on the edge of prayer, it is important to remember that this is not a transaction. You are not here to earn answers or prove worthiness. You are here to be present, to step into a conversation that is as ancient as humanity itself, a conversation between the soul and the source of life. And just like any deep conversation, the listening is just as important as the speaking. Think of those moments when you truly felt heard by someone. It was not because they filled the air with their own words, but because they gave you space to share. That is the kind of openness that prayer invites. A willingness to speak, yes, but also a willingness to be still enough to hear. And sometimes what you hear is not a voice but a feeling, a shift in perspective, a sense of calm that you cannot explain. To receive this, you must create an inner posture of receptivity. This is why we pause before prayer, so we can clear the inner clutter and become ready for what may come. You might be bringing pain with you, or joy, or confusion, or longing. None of these disqualify you. In fact, They enrich the moment because they make your prayer authentic. It is not about pretending to be in a perfect state. It is about showing up truthfully. And in that truthfulness, you will find freedom. Let this be the moment where you drop the heavy expectations of saying everything just right and instead embrace the honesty of simply being here. Finally, let this preparation remind you that prayer is both a refuge and a release. A refuge because it gives you a safe place to pause in a world that often demands constant motion. A release because it allows you to let go of what you've been carrying alone. As you prepare to begin, think of this moment as stepping into a quiet room, leaving the noise and weight outside the door. Inside, there is peace, not because every problem is solved, but because you are no longer facing them in isolation. You are engaging with something greater than yourself, something that listens, understands, and holds the entirety of who you are. And as you stand in this awareness, notice how your breathing slows, your shoulders ease, and your mind grows lighter. This is the gift of pausing before prayer. It shapes your focus, centers your thoughts, and anchors you in a place of readiness. You have made the choice to be here, to step away from the rush, and to give yourself the space to enter this conversation with depth and sincerity. Now, with the noise of the world set aside and your spirit quietly attuned, you are ready to begin, not with haste, but with intention. This is where the journey of prayer truly starts, not in the speaking, but in the stillness that makes the speaking meaningful. And so, as we prepare to step back into the flow of life, let us carry with us the calm we have found in this space. Let it guide our thoughts when worries return. Let it steady our steps when challenges arise. And let it remind us that peace is always available when we choose to pause and seek it. May these moments of reflection remind us that we are never walking alone, that wisdom is never far from reach, and that strength is renewed each time we turn inward with sincerity. Let us move forward with clarity, with courage, and with compassion, knowing that what we have received here is not meant to stay here, but to shape the way we live, love, and hope. This time of prayer may be coming to an end, but its impact continues. May your spirit remain grounded, your mind remain calm, and your path remain guided by truth and peace. And as you go, may you find that the stillness you touched here lingers with you quietly, gently, reminding you that you are held, you are heard, and you are strengthened for the journey ahead. Amen.